Alright, today we're going to be looking at a group of berets, mostly Vietnam era berets. Who doesn't enjoy seeing some different berets? The Vietnam War, such a variety of different berets, probably more in Vietnam than any other conflict, just because of the South Vietnamese aspect and how many different berets they wore. So let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of these. First thing we're going to look at is probably the best known berets of the Vietnam War, U.S. Special Forces berets. And we see that both of these have got flashes on them for 5th Special Forces Group. And we see this one here looks like it had a lieutenant's rank on there. But one of the interesting aspects of it is that this one here would be like the official issue beret. And I think sometimes people, when they see other manufacturers of berets, they just assume that they're not real. I mean, there are plenty of fake berets out there, but just because a beret is not an official issue one does not make it a reproduction. But as I said, this one here is a official issue one. We see the DSA code. Since it just says DSA 100, and then it doesn't have a 2-digit year after it, this would be from 1966. So contract year 65 to 66, but mainly 1966. But as I said, not all U.S. Special Forces berets from that era are going to be the official issue ones. This one here, pretty much every time I find one that is not an official issue beret, it always seems like it came from an officer. And there always seems to be two manufacturers. They're either a Bancroft, and the Bancroft ones are really easy to spot because they almost always have a very bright yellow interior for the lining. And then this Maury Luxembourg is the other manufacturer you seem to find from time to time. And as I said, it's almost always an officer that had one of these, and as we saw that this one had a lieutenant's rank on there, so it was an officer. So just a different aspect of the berets. And the other thing to keep in mind is that there was U.S. Special Forces before they had an official issue beret. So if you find ones that predate that, I believe like 64 is when they started making the official issue berets. So if you found a beret from somebody who had served in one of the Special Forces units and it was from 63 or something like that, it's not going to be an official issue beret. So that's something to also take into consideration. So anyways, just two 5th group berets. This next one here, again, sometimes people get these two flashes confused. I mean, obviously having the bird on there is a different aspect, but you'll find a lot of these where it doesn't have that on there, and people just look at this and say, oh, that's a 5th Special Forces Group. But when you see the two of them next to each other, you see, one of the different things is this outline of color. It's white on 5th Group, and this one here has got, I guess it's be a yellow. So this is actually the Naval Advisory Group. So this would be a Navy, this Army. So again, just something to take into consideration, because I know a lot of people do confuse those two. And this one here would have been a beret that was made in Vietnam. It's a, not a high quality beret. Some of these different like tailor-made berets in Saigon will be a real high quality. This one I don't think is super high quality. But the other thing that you'll notice is that some of these berets you're going to find that they actually wore, like the U.S. Special Forces wear the beret more like that, have the flash like that. And some of these ones I've seen, since these were advisors to the Vietnamese wore their berets more like that. put the flash on the side. So I've seen photos of both, like for the Naval Advisory Group. Sometimes I'll be wearing it, more of the US version. Sometimes, I guess, to fit in more with their South Vietnamese counterparts, may wear the flash on the side. So that's interesting there. And this one, this is the National Police Field Force for the South Vietnamese. They were a little bit different from a traditional police force. They had a lot more of a military aspect to them. Let me see, this one here has got the label in there for the manufacturer in Saigon. And this one would have been worn, I think, in the South Vietnamese style of wearing them. This one here would be an ARVN Airborne unit beret. Again, you know, it's got a manufacturer's tag in there. Really in pretty good shape. And then this one here is a post-Vietnam one. This is actually a cavalry unit. I don't think it was from a 2-star general. Someone probably just stuck that on there. But I believe this was like mid-70s when this was converted into like a tank unit, cavalry unit. So it's not anything too great, but you know, even stuff from say the mid-70s or even late 70s, it's getting harder to find. And this last one here is, it's not even a US beret, it's a Belgian manufacturer. It's got the pin on here for the British SAS. If you find these berets like this and they have like a World War II date in them, this one's hard to read, but it's not World War II. But if you find these British related berets that are World War II dated, they can have a pretty good amount of value. But as I said, this one would be much later. This one may be from the 70s or 80s again. And this last item here, this would be like a World War II British-made machete. I believe the Martindale was the manufacturer in Birmingham. I believe that's the manufacturer. But quite a few different World War II manufactured machetes. A lot of different brands, a lot of different uses in different areas of the war. So that's going to wrap it up. Just wanted to show you those few different berets. And if you enjoy these type of videos, I encourage you to check out the many other videos we've got up. There's over 50, especially if you like Vietnam related items. Got quite a few videos of different Vietnam related items. So as always, if you've enjoyed the video, I do hope that you will like and subscribe so that you'll know when future videos are uploaded. That's going to wrap it up, and I do appreciate you watching.